Then I hear, John, it was better in the olden days, you know, going back down to that. Really? Well, what about dentistry? Isn't that scary right there? That is absolutely, and look at this guy. He's got his foot on his shoulder and pulling out a tooth. And I saw this, it was in a financial blog, and sometimes I go down to the comments to see what people are saying, and I pull this out. I wish I would have saved the article. I don't remember where I got it. But it struck me because, you know, remember the time period. This was written by this person in 2010, so we were coming right out of the financial crisis, right? So things were still raw. We just didn't know how things were going to go. And this person said, there's so much corruption, so much greed, inhumanity, and despoiling of the planet. How I wish I could have lived in Europe 1,000 years ago and enjoyed the beautiful medieval churches, the pageantry, the romance, the innocence, and spiritual passion. Life has never been more tragic and depressing than it is today. Wants to go back 1,000 years to the majesty, right? The romance. Well, let's go back 1,000 years and see what it was like. Well, first of all, it was a life of brutality, ignorance. It was brutish and short. Vast majority of people did hard labor simply for subsistence living. There was no societal safety net. Often there was no food. Most freedoms were non-existent. Despots were the norm. Even compared to today, it was an era of shocking violence. Criminals were rarely pursued. They didn't have law enforcement to chase them down, right? Vast majority of men and women were illiterate and believed in magic and sorcery. Witch hunting was a popular sport. Since there was no plumbing and sanitation was primitive, deadly pandemics were common. Men rarely reached their late 40s and women rarely reached their late 20s. Travel was brutal, dangerous, and short. Travel beyond the horizon was often a total mystery. Do you want to go back 1,000 years to the pageantry? God, and romance? Would you even want to go back 10 years? No, heck no. Which brings us today. The world is getting smaller and smaller as these communications make the world a smaller and smaller place.
I came up with the idea for a translator when I met a French girl. Elodie, put this in your ear.
Je mets ça dans mon oreille?
Yeah, put it in your ear.
Comme ça?
Yeah.
Ok.
Can you hear me in French?
Pouvez-vous me entendre en français?
Ah oui! Et je peux t'entendre parler français? Mais c'est
Yes,
génial.
I can hear you talk French.
Attends, comment ça se fait?
But this is awesome. But how you do it?
This little wearable uses translation technology to allow two people to speak different languages, but still clearly understand each other. It's the dream, you know? A life untethered, free of language barriers. It's just that it's no longer a dream anymore. It's real.
Yeah, it is real. And people are doing this, working every single minute of every single day, coming up with things like this. And Facebook is relatively new, right? But there's billions of people on Facebook already. Billions of people visit Facebook on a daily basis, I should say. And sometimes they form groups and find out about things before their doctors find out about them.
Time we go and see the doctor, I take notes.
Kristen Tabling says her mission feels impossible, finding a cure for her husband Chris, a high school principal, diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer at age 44.
Our girls deserve to grow up with their dad. I deserve to grow old with him. He deserves to be alive.
Chemotherapy is not working. His only hope to survive? A clinical trial testing a new therapy.
I don't know how you sort through 3,500 clinical trials with words that you don't even know what they mean.
We learn these in medical school.
But then, Kristen and Chris found a Facebook community of cancer patients and their loved ones called Colon Town, with 40 so-called neighborhoods focusing on different issues. It's a private group sharing fears and the latest medical advances, information so new patients often learn about it before their doctors do.
just phenomenal stories out there. And without that, that wouldn't even have been possible for that young lady. Not even possible. With information comes knowledge. We're all smarter today. I feel smarter when I carry around my cell phone. Right? All I have to do is push that Google microphone and ask it a question, and boom, out spots the answer. You guys got Apple, you got Siri on there, give you the answer to most anything.